Welcome to Pacer Nursing Power Hour, your go-to spot for real talk and real tips in the world of nursing.
So plug in, scrub up, and let's go. This is Pacer Nursing Power Hour, where students get powered up. Are you singing it too? Are you lip syncing?
Always, every time.
Okay, good.
Every time. So this week, we are diving into test-taking strategies.
Okay, I know it sounds boring.
But I think it's what is constantly on everyone's mind because nursing school boils down to test questions. It
well,
just
it's
does.
a test.
Yeah.
It's the
you
test.
make or break with
It's the test.
drum roll NCLEX.
The test.
The ever anxiety-ridden test.
It's like I say, your bachelor's in nursing means nothing.
Yeah, it's worthless if you don't
can't
pass the NCLEX.
So testing is huge.
Yeah. So in school, when you were in school, and
again,
currently,
you gotta remember.
Okay, well, you're currently in school.
Okay, let's use current.
Current school.
Okay.
You are in your DNP program.
Yes.
No. Yes.
Yes.
You are in your DNP program.
Yes.
Have you taken a test yet?
Yes.
Do they have select all that apply questions?
Yes.
Do you dread them?
Absolutely. But it's not as important for me.
Well, yeah, but we're just talking like,
oh, yeah.
For students that are in school, it's not you alone
that
have anxiety about
it's horrible.
Select all that apply.
Because you can always argue.
You can always argue.
And
you and I.
Yeah.
We can about argue anything.
Yeah, and Britton told me too, same thing happened to her. And I'm like, I hate being that student, because we all have had those students. And if you're that student, it's okay. You can argue. We don't care. We'll argue back. But I really was like, no, I don't want to be this student, but I am this
but
student.
You are, yeah.
I'm going to argue that.
Well, I think we as students judge our value based off the grade that we receive.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, we argue every little
like
point, 1 point,
Like I made an 89.
That's frustrating.
That's my first B, and that's really a B plus.
Yeah.
But and my average is still fine. Well above fine. But I'm like, it has a different color in the grade book, and I don't like it. Yeah. Like I need to buck up.
So
like
if
this.
I gave you $1 for every select all that apply question you bombed, how wealthy would you be? Or at least you think you would be.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I doubt you bombed them.
Yeah, you'd pay for Claire's wedding.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay, yeah. That's a lot of dollars. Yeah, paying for a wedding is expensive. So this episode, we're going to talk about cracking the code on the select all that apply questions. We're going to talk test-taking strategies versus just memorizing the material. There's a drastic difference. You and I both know. Between the two of us, we have too many degrees to even begin to talk about. And we know the difference between test-taking strategies versus memorizing.
Yeah.
And then tips to study smarter, not necessarily harder or longer. So that's what we're diving into today. It may not be
the most
earth-shattering, but it's the important stuff. I mean, you got to pass the test.
Okay, so the second you get that acceptance letter from being in the School of Nursing, being a nursing student, you officially need to stop memorizing material.
100%. And honestly, I don't think I appreciated that to its full capacity until my NP program. I mean, obviously, I made it through my BSN program.
You did very well, if I recall.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I still remember your paperwork.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm a little OCD.
You are.
It's okay.
Yeah. Too, though.
Yeah. That's
the amount of feedback that I would give you.
Yeah, if it comes back in red ink, it gives me anxiety.
Claire said I would kill myself if my teacher gave me my paper that looked like. So I stopped using red.
Yeah.
After that, yeah. I'm like,
I think it was either you or Professor Britton that told me that they never use red ink. And so whenever I do mine, I try to avoid red ink at all costs.
It could have been both, but I know for sure.
Yeah.
I say it because I remember sitting in the urgent care where you work now
with
Claire.
Mom.
Yeah, she said, that makes, what's happening?
That's not even my paper and I don't like it.
like, no, they're fine. She goes, why? Why? I would kill myself if I had that much red ink on a paper I turned in. I'm like, this is just things how to rephrase. Okay, but let's go back. Yeah, stop memorizing stuff.
Yeah. So nursing school is different. We've established that over the last couple weeks of podcasting. Nursing school is just different. It's not going to benefit you if you memorize the material, because when you have a real life patient in front of you, it's not always textbook.
It's like you said in the one episode, that person, if I'm having a heart attack, I don't want to see you Googling something while I'm in the middle of a code. Well, hopefully I'm unconscious, but still.
Let's just pause and imagine that for a minute. I roll in on my worst day into the ER. Everything's out in the open for everybody, and yet they're just on their phones Googling stuff. I would cry.
I actually saw something like in Texas, something got lost in a resident. Oh, I know what they're doing. A nurse, they were, a code had happened, and the nurse was, doing what they do, because, especially ICU nurses, there's a rhythm, and it. The resident wouldn't let her go forward.
Oh, no.
Because they had to look up and make sure it was right. So,
I mean,
it was just this big
I
whole
understand
thing.
that, but when you're in a code, you need to be on your P's and Q's.
He actually reported her. Yes, for disobeying or whatever that is. And I mean, she saved the patient.
Yeah.
And obviously the hospital actually backed her up.
Oh, well, that's
different. I know, we're all like going, it's shocking. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can't stop in a code.
Yeah. And I mean, real life patients, they're not textbook. There's no patient that is cookie cutter. There's no patient that looks exactly like the last patient with the same diagnosis.
No.
So you have to understand the material and be able to apply it. And that's totally different than any other test you take, because the NCLEX and our questions throughout the nursing school program, they're designed to make you apply the material.
Right.
They give you all of the pieces of the puzzle, and you got to put it together.
Yeah, when I lecture, because I probably lecture on one of the hardest topics,
which is
pediatric cardiac anomalies. It's my jam, I love it. And so I have to go. I always tell them I have to go through the pathophysiology, because you need to know why it's happening. So you need to know what to look for and how to take care of it. I don't necessarily want you to memorize the pressures of each, ventricle and atria of the heart. I want you to know why, if one side pressure is higher than the other, and you have a hole somewhere, why is that important to know? It's not memorizing.
Yeah. So I may be biased because I did my BSN here.
Yeah.
And then returned here. So I don't know any other nursing program. I've never been through another nursing program. Yeah. I did do my NP at Carolina. So I may be biased, but I think that's one special thing that we have going on here, is that we set up the foundation.
Yeah.
When you go through level 4, taking patho first and not having it broken up. I didn't even realize that was a thing. When they break up pharmacology and they break up patho and they break up all these classes throughout different semesters. I didn't know that was a thing.
Well, here, did you know? Okay, so patho in a lot of nursing is not in the nursing curriculum. It's a gen ed course.
I mean, maybe I could justify it, but it's not nursing driven. Nursing is not nursing driven.
Is that NURSEN?
With an apostrophe, because we have fancy with our apostrophes.
We have medicalese.
Not nursing driven.
Yeah.
So I can see you, and I think that's why I like our program, is because it's at the very beginning and it sets you up for success in later classes. If you started talking about cardiac anomalies and they haven't had med surge and
but here's the thing though. This is well, a lot of them, when I finally see that light bulb, it doesn't matter the patient population.
Heart anomalies,
it's either heart failure or hypoxemia.
Yeah, and this proves our point that it is not memorization. If you can understand it and apply it, it's across the board.
Exactly.
Yes, I think that was a perfect key takeaway. Don't learn it 12 times in each class. Learn it once and apply it later.
I mean, I start that lecture as, okay, everyone, just shout out what you know about heart failure.
Yeah.
Okay, so here you go. and it's the same stuff. You're going to see a little difference in the vital signs because it's a brand new baby heart.
Right.
And it hadn't pumped up yet.
But we don't have to relearn from square one.
No, you already know.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
So for select all that apply questions,
but wait, let's back up.
Okay.
So you took your nursing, your NCLEX what year?
2016.
And you had select all that apply.
Yes.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, SATA, select all that apply. It's multiple choice questions, and it used to be one is the only correct answer,
right.
which
and
is
full credit.
Which was what my test was. Now, then they said, okay, we need to make them smarter. Apparently, I don't know if our generation wasn't or not, but I don't know. And so they added select all, so more than one, but not all at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So they did that. You said you took it when?
2016.
Okay,
and you got full credit or no credit.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So then
in my time,
in 2022.
Yes, that sounds right. 2022
okay,
sounds right.
They started new questions, which they're called Next Gen.
Mm-hmm.
GEN, like generation. So they've added, not only do they have changed the SATA to where the select all that apply can be all of them, or two. So this is important too for professors and students. Listen up, because if we don't put after the body of the question, select all that apply, and they only select one, we have to give them credit. It was supposed to be we have to give them credit. So look out for that.
That's one question I get at the beginning of every semester from at least one student is, when you do select all that apply questions, will you ever put all of them?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, sure, we'll see.
I mean, it can be, though. It's done.
Absolutely.
I think we had, Pete's had one. But yeah, so these next gen questions are designed to bring out that application more. So it's case studies, scenario based,
delegation,
prioritization. They have these crazy things called butterfly.
Bow tie.
But
I like butterfly better.
I mean, it looked better in my mind.
My bow tie.
Where, you're given the middle is like what's happening, or the diagnosis or whatever.
It all.
And then you'll have random, and they have to pick what it's an insane style question.
You know who's really awesome at making a test in our program?
Who?
Dr. Edwards. I've read through her tests, and I have to remind myself, Katie, you're not taking this test.
I don't want to take her test.
She's
I don't
really
think I could
good at bringing in all different styles of questions. When I'm not that crafty.
Yeah.
But she's really good at that.
Yeah, she's amazing.
I give her mad props.
She's amazing.
Yeah, she is.
I like how everyone's starting to include the rationale.
Yes, that is something I'm going to try to commit to this semester. I think that's smart. That's really smart.
Yeah, it saves on some test reviews.
Yeah, and I think it's applicable when you start studying for your NCLEX or boards or whatever your future presents. That's how UWorld is set up or whatever. I mean, you get that rationalization afterwards, and that helps me study so much.
And I created some practice ATI tests for every lecture, and then I would send out that practice test. It's not mandatory, and then lecture would be on Monday. I would send out the answers with the rationales on Thursday. And they were like, okay, that's the best.
Yeah.
Knowing why a question is the way it is. And that's my favorite question. So in clinical, I don't know if you remember this, but they would come up and say something's going on. And they would, tell me about a clinical presentation. I'm like, okay, so why? That's what, and the student's like, no, that's what I'm asking you. I'm like, no, I'm asking you
back.
Tell me why. Go through it. Apply your knowledge.
You know it.
Dig deep. So that's what these questions are designed to do, is to make them use that knowledge they have already memorized and learned.
And let's apply it.
And translate it into real life or real questions.
Yep.
Yes. So now, granted, it's not been met with love from the students. Yeah. Understandably so.
Yeah. Especially when you come from your gen ed courses and you're like, bam, and that level 4.
Yeah.
You're thinking, what is this test? I mean, it's like a torture device, and you're having to pivot and adapt like we always talk about. And then they're all online. They're proctored, but online. We use ExamSoft.
And gosh forbid if you don't update your computer the night before.
That's a buzzkill. But tell me, explain, why do we do tests on computers?
Because they're taking the test on the computer.
The test.
Yes.
The capital THE
yes.
test. The NCLEX is on the computer.
And I remember when I first joined permanent, I got a lot of students that would complain that they couldn't go back.
And we do that because the test, the NCLEX, doesn't let you go back.
You can't go back.
So they're also timed. You get a minute and a half per question, right?
Yeah.
A minute and a half per question. So depending on how long your
Ours
test
are typically
is,
50. So
typically.
like, I think
50 questions, so 75 minutes.
Yes, exactly.
I know my final is 100 questions, so it's different. But you get a minute and a half per question. And it's all to set you up for the NCLEX. I know as a student, I was like, a minute and a half. My eyeballs don't read that fast.
Yeah.
And it's scary and intimidating. And that's where a lot of my anxiety is, okay, am I going to finish? And you got to be able to finish the NCLEX. You can't.
Yeah, you're not sitting there endlessly.
Yeah.
It's
so
timed.
if you have years of practice, which you will by the time you take the NCLEX, if you go through our program, you are prepared.
I mean, our NCLEX pass rate is 98%.
That's incredible.
Our formula is tried and true, so believe in it, accept it, and do it. Yeah. I'm just saying, I hate it too. I mean, again, thankfully in the nursing profession, unless you lose it or something, you never have to take the NCLEX again.
Yes, that's a perk of being an NP over a PA too. You don't have to retake your boards.
Really? I did not know that.
PAs have to retake boards. I think I want to say every 10. It might be every 5 years, but I think it's every 10 years. Yeah.
Oh, that would.
NPs don't.
I mean, that's a good idea.
Talk about a moneymaker.
I mean, for real. But still, I mean, think about how many. Because mid-levels are still relatively new, especially the amount of mid-levels.
Now, of course, NPs, they have to get their educational hours to re-up their license and everything.
And we have to prove contact hours too.
So a question for you, since you are in school.
Yeah.
Say you're clicking through a test and that select all that apply question pops up. Yeah. What do you tell yourself?
Breathe.
Perfect. That's what I would do too. Yeah. Because I instantly, when I see
panic,
select all that apply at the end of the question, my anxiety just shoots up and I doubt myself.
I have to stop and literally say breathe and then just calm down and look for the root.
Yes.
Okay.
So we are saying...
We earlier said in a previous podcast, for every one course hour, you need to study
3 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, on your own or with a group or whatever that may look like. So what do you recommend doing first? Say you've been to class, you've gotten the lectures, say you have PowerPoint slides, you have your book, you have your online resources. What do you tell your students? Where to start?
I say brain dump.
I think that's great.
Brain dump everything you know about it. Every single thing you know. Start with one, like make yourself a list of topics. Brain dump everything and then go back.
Yep.
I'm a huge proponent of doing ATI practice tests.
Oh, yes.
I mean, it's insane.
They're
totally
so good.
Agree. I think they're probably
harder. Hard.
I think they're probably harder than the NCLEX. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, and that's why our students do so well.
They're so good.
Well, going back to brain dump, I can't remember if it was last semester or the semester before, but the students were wigging out on me. You know, it was that time of the semester. I think it was our third test, and it was just stressful. And the students were really nervous about this test. And I don't do blueprints. I know that might be against the norm.
No.
But I don't do blueprints.
Some do, some don't. The only time I think some do, really a lot of them do for the final, but
yeah,
not
final,
for
everything.
I do.
But I said, okay, I'm going to give you a gift. And I went through the textbook, okay? All I did was type up the headers
of the chapters and
yeah. And I said, put everything you know about this topic. And then if you can't put anything there, or if you can only put 1 or 2 things, go check yourself in the textbook.
That's a great idea.
And yeah, brain dumping is huge because then you can check, okay, I know these things and I obviously don't know these topics. I think that's brilliant. How do you organize? Once you've brain dumped, what do you do to organize? your information.
I go back and see where
there's a lack.
Yeah, and I you can spot it right away because I don't have anything dumped.
Yeah.
Probably. Okay.
I'm dumpless.
Going there. But
Are you a visual person?
No.
Me neither.
I'm not auditory nor visual. I am kinetic.
Me too.
I have to read.
And that really stinks when you're a student, isn't it?
It does. Because you're reinventing the wheel, so to speak. But I have to put it in the way that it is organized in my mind that makes sense.
Yeah. And that's where the time-consuming part comes from.
But I think also, though, that's what leads me to, I'll see something, and I do this even in clinicals with students, but I'll see something, a word, and I'm like, okay, I can't remember what that is. And then I'll go and I'll look up that word. And then that might be even a little more confusing. So I'm diving harder. Yeah. And then I come back and I'm like, okay. That makes total sense.
Yeah, it does.
And it's an awesome learning opportunity, learning moment, because you're not searching for like whatever the answer is.
Right.
You're searching for, why is this the answer?
The why.
The why. The why, the why, the why, the why. That is always the most important. You know, you're going to take my temperature when I come into the hospital. Not because it's on your list of things to do in your chart, but why do
we want to know a temperature?
Yeah, why is that important for you?
As an NP, I didn't appreciate it. As a nurse, there's, vital signs. It felt like a task with my nurse degree, my BSN degree. I'm taking vital signs every 4 hours or whatever it is in the ER as soon as they get there. And I just provide it to somebody else. They analyze it. And as an NP, I get on to, I work in urgent care. Yeah. I get on to MAs when they don't put all the vital signs.
Like, what are they not putting in?
It irks me. Even if it's just a simple, just an oversight or whatnot, or they didn't push the green check mark in Cerner.
To submit it, yeah.
Whatever it is.
Or save it, yeah.
I'm like, no, that's really important information. And they'll say, oh, well, it was normal.
Oh, I don't like that word.
No, what is it? I mean, that's my job, is to assess those things and apply them now as a nurse practitioner. But I mean, a few points in a blood pressure can make a big difference. Yeah. Temperature, use the scan the forehead ones. How hot is it right now in South Carolina? People walk in, and if they're lucky enough, they get pulled back very quickly, and their foreheads are 100 degrees.
During COVID, standing 6 feet away from me and scanning me for a
oh my gosh, yeah.
When I would see some of the temperatures, I'm like, that states I'm dead.
Yeah, I'm not 87 degrees.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Yeah, these people walk in and they have these crazy high fevers, quote unquote. I'm using air quotes, fever, and they're there for, I don't know, work excuse. I don't know.
Exactly.
And I'm like, wait, what? Or let's make this make sense.
Yeah.
And so I'm always taking
or they came
a blood
in
pressure
for a sprained ankle and they have 104
temperature. Yeah. I'm like, wait, let me recheck that orally. Yeah. So, I mean, it does. It's important. Yeah. Those things are important.
Okay, so let's go back to studying.
So you gotta do what works for you.
Right.
Whether that's making a chart or...
And I color code.
Yeah. So making a chart, color coding it to where your brain can click in and find that pathway to connect that information to what you already know.
I wish I could be that person that, what is it when they just see it once and
like Sheldon? Yeah, Sheldon.
Yeah, what is that called?
I don't remember. Because my neural pathways.
We don't have that. We don't. You're like me the other week. They weren't connecting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wish I could be photographic memory.
Yeah.
There's some. I'm sure Sheldon called it something different. And Sheldon, we mean by the Big Bang Theory. But yeah, I wish I could be that person, but I'm not. In fact, I'm not nearly anywhere. But I can often recall where something is. And somewhere, like I can visualize it in my notes, just don't know what it says.
Yeah, yeah. So I did the same thing. And so when I was in school, what I did was I would take the totality of the information, all-encompassing information from my PowerPoints, my notes from the book, compile them into massively long study guides. I mean, we're talking like 100-plus page study guides.
Yeah.
Why not just go to the book, Cadey? But whatever.
Yeah.
And then I would pare it down. So all the stuff like, all the words that were like, oh, in 1905, so-and-so, I mean, silly stuff. I'd start deleting that information and highlighting as I go. But I always had my original rough draft so that I could brain dump and then double check it on my original and make sure, okay, I know 100 pages worth of information. But I would start deleting this stuff, the riffraff stuff, and get down to the meat.
So here's another interesting perspective, though, from as a faculty, now that you're faculty. And you remember those professors where you would have one professor that you just had to study from their slides.
Yes.
And then you have those other professors who have like 2 words on a slide. Like it's like a whole chapter worth of content. And okay, so knowing how to also listen to relevant information is part of that study too.
Yeah. And there's so many resources now for students that, I mean, you can record a professor and it makes an outline for you.
I did not know that.
Are you serious?
I am dead serious.
I feel like every week.
Okay, you teach me something new. Like you just taught me about Marco Polo.
Yeah, Marco Polo and reminders.
Okay, but let's remember when I graduated from nursing.
Yeah, different. Getting those degrees was very different than this one, I'm sure. Well, I'll show you how to make an outline from your lecture
good. Thank you.
notes.
I do know about AI. You and I are both AI gurus up top.
Yep, high five. But I was excited. One of my students last semester showed me this thing, and I actually emailed her over the summer, and I still can't remember it, so I'd have to pull it from my email. But she would upload my slides into this AI program, and it would create a podcast that she would listen to in her car. Yeah.
Okay, don't do that, people. You need to come here.
True.
For the lecture.
Yeah. How cool is that, though? And she let me listen to a few minutes of it, and it was so cute. Like, it was like a guy and a girl, like, talking about the stuff that I was teaching.
Okay, so this is a perfect segue to say there are ways to use AI appropriately. Yes. Because we were all petrified when ChatGPT came up. They're going to use it to cheat. They're going to, and it's okay. If you're going to cheat, you're not going to learn. You're basically cheating yourself. You're not going to pass the NCLEX. And it's going to be on you. But that's a perfect way to use it appropriately.
Yeah. Other examples that I've had students show me is they upload their notes into whatever AI, ChatGPT, whatever AI source, and they ask for NCLEX style questions. And I think that's brilliant too.
Wow.
To get, I don't know, however many hundreds of questions based off of my material.
So here's what I'm interested in knowing, just from, you and I have dived hard into this AI thing.
AI.
Yeah. Thanks to Ellis.
Yeah, go Ellis.
And his support. But so what worries me, and this is always a faculty worry, is are they pulling, is that AI, is it pulling from somewhere else or just those notes?
Slides. So yeah, I would recommend fact checking your questions.
Yep.
Because
I have that as an assignment in one of my online classes. I literally have them I give them a sentence prompt, write a paragraph for nursing intervention for blank. And I might let ChatGPT write it for you. So now you're going to copy paste that. You're going to list a reference that they need to cite, copy paste it on a Word doc. And now I want you to find out what's wrong with it. And they have to highlight. And they have found so much that the citations, the references,
makes you wonder.
The information is just not correct.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful. You and I both love it. Yes. We are just avid supporters of it, but you do have to do your due diligence.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's a great lesson as a nurse too, because you can be given an order from a doctor.
Yes.
And if you just go and do it
blindly,
it comes back on you. If something happens to that patient, it comes back on you.
Yep.
So you need to fact check always throughout your career.
And this is part of that application too, though.
Yes.
We had
it make sense.
Our former USCA nursing student who is a nurse where I worked, got some big award or recognition because she caught like this massive med error from a resident. She gave Procardia to like an 11-year-old, semi-average-ish weight as an adult, around 50 kilos, kilograms, 110 pounds.
Yeah.
Right?
That's about right.
Okay.
Yep. You're better at math than me, but yeah, that sounds right.
And then the same dose for a 3-month. And the 11-year-old's blood pressure bottomed. So
yeah, make it make sense.
I'm not giving this dose. I'm not doing it. Like it was and I know this nurse personally, and she's so sweet. But when she knows she's right, and she's always often right.
Yeah.
She held her ground and she
Good for
would
her.
not back down.
Good for her.
I was it was a well-deserved recognition. But that's the perfect thing for application.
Mm-hmm.
You learn pharmacology. You learn what a quote-unquote horrible word normal dose is for procardia.
And you understand the mechanism of action.
And
you understand the basic that a 300-pound person is probably going to need more medication than a 3-month-old patient. Like, there's differences.
Yeah, so that's part of the application. So when you're studying, looking at it and say, okay, what is it that I'm trying to figure out? And it's not, you're not going to repeat or regurgitate that mechanism of action. You're going to know, what is my patient's blood pressure bottoming? Is the heart rate jacked up?
Yes.
Are they vomiting, sweating? All of that.
Right.
What am I looking for? And then what do I do? What's my priority here?
Yes. Yeah, priority. Good job.
Yeah.
Okay, NCLEX. Okay. Get your little crown that says NCLEX.
So this is awesome that we're talking about, because I just spoke to a student. When I say spoke, we all know mean text. No one talks on the phone anymore. I'm just I miss talking. I don't, but because I hate talking on the phone. I do.
And here we are doing a podcast.
Here we are doing, she passed her NCLEX.
Yay,
and
congrats.
She waited like 2 days to tell me. I'm like, I cannot believe you didn't tell me sooner. And she said she was overwhelmed. I'm like, why? She said, because, everyone was like going, you're like just beating her down. And she said, honestly, it was all about prioritization. If you cannot prioritize your care or your assessment skills, you're not going to pass. That's what the NCLEX says.
That's what it was for me, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Make it make sense.
Yes.
And I think
for you,
when I was a student, I always overcomplicated things.
Oh,
sometimes
you're overthinking
it's really simple, and you don't have to overcomplicate it.
And
again,
I see this
if the easy answer makes sense, that's the answer.
I see this in test reviews. Yeah. And students will tell me like their train of thought.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? That's way too much.
Yeah. I say stay out of the weeds.
Yeah.
I say that all semester. Don't get in the weeds.
Yeah. Stop overthinking it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Overthinking and second guessing yourself.
So I have a weird study tip. Okay. I learned this in high school from my psychology teacher. Okay. So we were given a list of words, like off the wall words, like playground, rainbow, banana, just random words. And it was like hundreds of words. And he taught us you have to envision a place that you see all the time. So, I mean, in that example, it was like my bedroom. And you have to think of the word and visualize it with something in your bedroom. So, like, my lamp had banana, and my door handle had rainbow, and my bedpost had playground. And you were given like a minute to memorize as many as you could. And it was shocking how many you could memorize it when you associated it with something that was familiar to you.
Okay, so I'm a huge Office nerd.
Yeah.
Michael Scott.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, have you?
Yes, I know who Michael is.
Okay, so
Where's your friends?
When him and Pam went on the tour, and he gave his management talk. And his name association.
Oh gosh.
Karen knocked up. K. Karen.
Yeah, but seriously, you associate it with something that was familiar to you.
Yeah.
And I used that later.
How?
So
I don't know how you would apply that.
So same thing. You associate a concept
to like my bedroom lamp?
Yes. And
what does it have to do with it?
What you do is you put that note card with those facts on it.
On your lamp?
On your lamp.
So you had to play
every single day. You're looking at cardiac anomalies or whatever. I don't do that, and it sticks. So then, just like you were saying earlier, when you knew it was on page 3 of your outline.
Yeah.
But you didn't know what was on page 3. I could say, okay, it was on my lamp, but I know what's on my lamp. I know it sounds weird, but don't knock it till you try it.
Okay, no. Okay, so we talked about the AI tools.
We talked about AI tools. We talked about how to use them appropriately.
Yep.
So how...
An ATI test.
Yeah.
Use your resources that you have, too.
Yeah.
And a lot of students don't buy the books, which I'm a proponent of not having a book. But even in an ebook, there's going to be questions. Like, I'm in a statistics class right now. The book is like this thin, but the content is like the size of this room, probably more. Yeah. My brain hurts so bad. And they always have 35 questions, and it's all application of those statistics. And you just have to do it. I just have to get in there and do it. Yeah. But they only give you the answers back for the odd ones. I'm like, but I need to know what this is.
I need all the other ones too.
Yeah. So, but you got to use it. Use the resources that you have available.
I agree. So we've talked about everything to prepare for your test. So you sit down to take your test. What do you recommend doing first when you read question 1?
You got to stop. Just stop for a second. Yeah. Center yourself. Yourself. I have noticed, though, on our, they're allowed to have
earplugs.
Earplugs, yes.
Yeah, not AirPods, but earplugs.
Yes, so that they can block out. Because I'm one of those people that if you're shaking the leg in the pew.
I can't.
So but it's so weird because when I study, I need noise.
Oh, see, I can't.
See, if I'm doing, like, you'll notice if I'm doing something like deep, like a content or whatever, and you notice that I have The Office on.
Oh,
that's my background.
That's funny. I would be totally distracted. I would not get anything done. My step 1, read the answer before the question. I know that sounds counterintuitive.
Well, no, you can kind of get an idea of what's being asked.
I truly think that's what saved me in the NCLEX and like preparing for the NCLEX.
That's a great...
Because you know what the question is asking by the time you read all of your options.
But when you read the question first, you got it in your head. You know what you're looking for.
Yes. You change the question in your brain.
That's a great tool.
I always read my 4 options first. And then if 3 of those stand out and they're like, if 3 of them are right options, then you're like, the question's going to be a not.
Well, unless it's
an accept or, one of those questions.
Select all apply.
True. But then you know what to look for, or you don't even overlook. I've had students that completely overlook the select all that apply in parentheses because their brain was just high anxiety.
Yeah. And so level, who was it? Dr. Model, Professor Aaron. I can't remember who else was on that study. They studied mindfulness like right before exams. So they did meditation. They did 5 minutes of meditation, calming, got everyone centered. I'm not a meditator. I can't get in my own head. It's too scary already up there. So I don't need to dwell on it.
Sure.
I need someone else's. I'm like, okay, I love that. That's awesome. That's what level 4 needs. I started playing Snoop Dogg. Okay, so everyone goes immediately to the DGO. Goes to that, but it's his affirmation song. It's a child song. Will sings it. Lil Dude sings it.
That.
He has a little YouTube video, a cartoon
for kids. I'm gonna need the link.
And so one year when I won, and if I didn't play it, I stopped doing it so much. But one day I didn't play it before a test, and the students were like,
whoa,
we ain't opening this until you play Snoop.
Stop.
So when I won the lamp,
of course you did.
Of course you really don't know who they're talking about at all. And it wasn't until the very last sentence, and they quoted a line from Snoop affirmation song. And so here we are on stage with the chancellor.
You cried.
The provost, the dean. No, and all the parents. Now they know I'm the one that plays Snoop Dogg. They don't really understand the song because they don't know Snoop Dogg is a clean. So they just think we're paying money for our students to play.
Listen to Snoop Dogg.
He's my hero.
That's cool.
I love Snoop. it's not how you do it, it's the purpose of it.
Yeah.
And that's just
the meaning behind it.
Center you and decrease that anxiety. Because we've already discussed, I have massive test anxiety.
Same.
So I need laughter. And I just need that warmth for me to be calm.
For sure.
So I think that's I think it's important. So when you open up the test,
take a minute.
Yeah, breathe.
Yeah. So do you recommend students changing their answer once they put it on? Like once they've clicked, let's say they click B, and they're like, oh, no, I want to click C.
I know what you're going at. You're going with trust your gut. Just saw. Okay, so yes.
Okay.
11 p.m. If you ever get an email from me, it's because I have just gotten in a hole and I have some ideas. And I sent our Dr. C a lot of midnight emails. She's quite used to it. So I'm thankful I have
What is that setting on your phone where it cancels all notifications? She's got to turn that on for you.
Yeah. I sent it to her email,
there you
so
go.
I'm better that way. I try not to text her. So I saw this TikTok about a professor at a med school.
Okay.
And he said, whatever you do, trust your gut. And he actually gave statistical evidence. Of course, I cannot recall it because I don't have it on my lamp.
I'm telling you, don't knock until you try. Next test, I need you to be posting stuff all over your house, okay?
My husband will walk into the bedroom and go,
you know what?
That's
trusting your gut.
Yeah, you gotta trust your gut because you've seen no material should be new for a test.
No.
There should be no material.
You showing up to class if it's new, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's another thing we didn't talk about. What to do if you miss a class. Now, we don't have an attendance policy.
We don't. Except for clinical.
Right.
We're talking about just class, lecture.
But if you miss a lecture...
I know.
That's rough catching up.
It is. It's a lot of work.
I had that perfect storm week last week where I didn't have my schoolwork together, and I just zoomed through the lectures and really didn't do those questions at the end of the book. And now I'm like,
yeah.
It
feels like you just dig yourself into a hole. I think that is another great piece of advice for students is finding your little circle, even if it's that just one other person. I had 2 girls in my NP program, and we leaned on each other heavily. Yeah, and I think that's important to have your little circle of people that study similarly to you, that appreciate whether you study in a group or not.
So y'all would team?
Yeah, we would. We wouldn't team, but we would divide things up, like making a study guide. I would take chapters 1 and 2. The next one would take 3 and 4. The next one would take 5 and 6, and pare down that material, hit the high points and whatnot. And then we would also be on group phone calls and quizzing each other and asking each other questions. Like whenever we had a group chat, and then whenever I didn't understand something, I'm like, oh my gosh, make this make sense.
So when did you finish your NP?
It was December of 2022 that I graduated.
Okay.
Yeah. December of 2022.
So, I finished my master's in February of 2022.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, they're all online.
Yeah. Okay. So back to that. Don't overthink your way out of the right answer. Don't.
Yeah. Don't convince yourself that you're wrong. So our ExamSoft, there are some features that you can use, and an elimination method is a beautiful way to tackle a question that you're super unsure of. And I would say increase your odds as much as possible. Even if you're like, I know A is absolutely wrong. Use the feature where you can strike through it.
Didn't know that was there.
Really? Yeah. You can strike through it, and that, down to a 33% chance of getting this right as opposed to a 25%.
So you can strike it out?
Yeah. So it just puts a little line through it. So then your brain is like, okay, I'm not even going to look at that one anymore.
Cool.
And then, you eliminate 2 and you're up to a 50-50 chance of getting it right, So use those tools accordingly, but I think that's a great tool to use when you need to use that elimination method.
And I get so many students because in level 4, now we don't thrust you into this horrible, massive, awful test stuff immediately.
Yeah.
Because in level 4, especially in Professor Aaron and Dr. Fairchild's class, they allow them to brain dump and whatever they can fit on an index card. Yeah. Can I tell you, we have students that can write in a 1 font. It's insane how small. I'm like,
oh, with your note card? Yeah.
So I'm like, but then they get in level 7 and we give them a scratch page and they're only allowed to put math on it.
Interesting.
And they get so mad.
Mine used the scratch page as a security blanket. I don't know what you would use a scratch page in maternal health, but every test,
maybe
I frequently forget to bring it and
measure.
I have to go get it. Yeah, the centimeters.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, they want to be able to draw the heart.
And you don't let them do that.
They can't. They can only do math. All right, we talked about elimination.
So I
think computers didn't have clocks
time wisely.
Yes.
Yeah, don't rush. Don't zoom through and like miss those key things like, oh, this is a not question or an accept question.
Yeah.
But also, like we said, don't get bogged down. Don't overthink. Don't get stuck in the weeds. So use your time accordingly. I know in my level, the math questions will frequently just make people anxious based off of the time. And
we do math in every class.
Yeah, every class,
every semester
unit that you work in. As a nurse practitioner, I calculate pediatric meds, like all the time.
I'm going to just say it right here.
Okay.
And admit it.
Hold on. Do I need to prepare myself?
No. I do not do dimensional analysis.
I don't either.
That's far too much to have to get to the problem that I can just divide and then No.
Yeah.
The only time I will ever have to whip out dimension, and in my opinion, that I would ever have to use that level of a formula is hanging like cardiac drips.
I really thought you were about to say hanging curtains.
You saw how I hung curtains. I hung them with a nail and a hammer.
I don't know why when you just said hanging and left it kind of hanging, I was like, is she about to say hanging curtains?
What did I say though?
Hanging cardiac drips.
There you go. I remember because you have to mix and, mics per kilo per minute.
Yeah.
Some drugs are that and some drugs are mics per kilogram. So that's the only time I would use dimensional because it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. And I think that is an important lesson. If one way of studying doesn't work for you, abandon ship.
Yes.
Jump and move on. I always compared myself to the smartest person in the class, who I thought the smartest person in the class was. And I was like, oh, what do you do? And they would tell me and I would try to do it. And I would try so hard to stick to that method because I was like, this is why they're smart, because they study like this. And it's not true.
No.
You're smart too. You got into the program. We know you're capable of doing this. You just have to commit and find your way. And there's tons of resources on campus in order to help you figure that out. Yeah.
So and part of that, you've got to understand yourself.
You do.
I'm a lazy studier.
Learning quizzes online. And like you and I said before, we are not visual. We are not auditory. And I did not appreciate that. Sunny is it was a state testing. And I got the report back, 93 percentile on auditory learning.
She is not you.
She is not me in that aspect.
But again, though, you love podcasts.
Here I am.
Yes.
I do. I'd like to listen to that.
So
true.
Maybe
there is
you are an
connection.
auditory learner.
Sunny, though, she can listen to a song one time and know all the lyrics.
Oh, my gosh.
And this past year, it finally, when I saw those test results, we started changing studying at home. I used to make her, because I am kinetic, I'd have to write it 10 times and be doing something to learn it. And she would just whine and cry and all the things. But now I start reading a study guide to her or read a book, read the textbook to her. Got it.
We have to read textbooks to the kids now.
I mean,
I bet your mom does. I am like the worst grandparent ever.
Yeah. So, you got to find your learning style in order to adapt to nursing school for sure.
All right. So the question that we both literally just had a physical reaction to was, don't wait to study until the night before.
Yeah.
Dear Lord, we've already told you how many hours you should be. Now, I know, and you know, because we've been there. That's what they tell you.
Did you do it?
No.
I didn't either.
Gosh, no. I was overwhelmed and my brain hurt when I got home.
This is one of those moments where do as we say, not as we do.
Exactly. Because we see it.
Yeah. We do.
But I do it now. I do it now. I'm much better. I mean, much better
I will
student
say my NP degree
now.
was totally different.
Because I understood what was on the line. I'm a much better student. And I'm actually digging it. Like, I want more.
I love learning.
Yeah. So it's amazing. So do not stop. Because you're going to freak yourself out.
Yeah.
And you know what? The other thing on those same token, don't look at anything the morning of the test.
For sure.
There is nothing you're going to learn in that 30, 15-minute time frame that you don't know. There's nothing. Put it up.
So I go into my classroom ridiculously early. Okay. Like, I would say a normal professor rolls in a minute or two before class starts.
8:57.
No. That's not how I roll. And on test days, it's even earlier. If my class starts at 9, I'm there at least by 8:30. And
I sit there. Studying?
I sit there and I try to prevent them from studying, whether they know it or not. I'm like, oh, how was your weekend? And I'll even ask, hey, do you have any questions so that we can talk it out and you're not spiraling? But yeah, I get there way early, especially on test days.
I tell them, put it up. If you don't know it by now, it is not going to happen.
Your anxiety is going to kill you before that.
Thus, that was the purpose for Snoop Dogg.
I love it.
I need to bring it back.
Bring it back.
Okay.
Using question banks are key for me. And I will say one regret I had for my undergrad degree is not getting UWorld sooner. Have you heard of UWorld?
No, girl. Remember I told you I had a test.
So UWorld, if you've never heard of it, is a board prep or NCLEX prep option. So I think we're used to hearing like Kaplan or ATI, things like that. UWorld, we talked about rationales earlier. The most epic rationales I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
So you answer a question, you get the rationale back. And what I love about it is it tells you why every single answer is wrong and why the correct answer is right. Okay. So I would learn so much about not even what the question was asking.
Plus, you can take it with you.
Yes, you can do it on your phone. Yeah. You can do it on your thing. So yeah, use question banks. UWorld, NCLEX are in Mastery. We have ATI. You don't even have to purchase anything additional if you don't want to. And use those to your advantage. But use them throughout the program. I think people wait to use them at the very end.
Yes.
But you can use them to study for your classes.
At the end of the chapters.
Yes.
We literally have copied, pasted questions.
Yes.
Like directly, and they still get it. And they'll fight them. I'll open up the book that they haven't bought and point to the question.
It's right here.
It's right there. So
with the answer in the back.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, this is too easy. Come on, people, be smarter. All right. So the one that other physical reaction.
Yes.
And I did not know this existed.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Buying notes and tests from past students. So that's why we lock down test reviews. And I didn't know that people were literally selling their notes and people were
buying them. So number one, it's unethical. That's just...
It's stupid.
Not good practice.
It's stupid.
But two, like, for example, my course this semester
changed.
Completely different than every other semester I've taught it. And I can't say any 2 semesters have been the same. Every semester I make changes. Yep. So
based on feedback from students.
Yes. Yeah, so the person that gave you those notes probably told me to change something, so I did.
So now you're
so now you're...
But, you're cheating yourself out of that
really
knowledge.
Are. Yeah.
And I know this sounds like, well, you're a teacher. You can... Honestly.
We've been there.
Please, if there's nothing else that you hear from me ever or take advice from ever, don't cheat yourself out of your education. I will ask students, do you feel like you've gotten your money's worth today?
Yeah.
Because you're paying for this. So yeah, don't. They are, I promise you, especially if I'm teaching the course.
What are those things at the end of the syllabus called? Critical incident.
Oh yeah. Is it a critical incident?
Cheating.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, if you have a test bank and you're caught with a test bank, that would fall, I would think, under a critical incident. That is grounds for removal.
Unless you truly know the person you're buying the notes from, how do you know?
Yeah,
it's like buying,
not a great grade.
An iPad from, off of someone down on Lawrence Street or, down 4th Street on Broad in Augusta. I mean, you don't know what you're getting.
You don't.
Do the work yourself. Don't cheat yourself out of that.
Yeah.
Because it's going to catch up to you. I know this from, for a fact.
So apparently.
And I'm all about making things smoother and work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, I agree. So apparently, I didn't know this, but it's a host tip. Practicing, did you know?
No.
Practicing.
I did not know all this.
So did you know? Practicing questions is like going to the gym for your brain. It's the training.
Okay, but can we stop right there?
Mm-hmm.
I hate the gym. Ask your husband.
That's okay.
I never finish a Planet Fitness.
That's okay.
Thankfully, I can cancel after each month.
I was about to say, are you still paying us for your lack of gym membership?
Probably. No, I have now Rocket Money.
Okay.
I'm in love with that app.
I don't even... where it tells you don't use this.
Yeah, your subscriptions.
Oh, that's cool.
Do you know how much money
you've saved?
Because I'm an idiot.
When someone tells you not to spend money, you can be like, no, I'm actually saving money.
I just saved like $160 this month.
That's lovely. I love it.
But yeah, so I hate the gym. So I need another analogy.
Okay. Well, then I won't analogy it. So did you know that practicing questions is like training your brain for the application that we have been like a broken record talking about? It's going to train your brain not to just memorize the facts, not to just pull it out of a hat and here's the information, but apply it to a question. So if you're practicing the questions, then when you get to the test, your brain's already thinking that way about cardiac anomalies or whatever.
Okay.
It's not just going to regurgitate.
Because I was initially thinking, what if it's just knowledge-based questions? But you're right. It's absolutely training your brain on what to look for.
The next level.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, let's talk. Okay, so common mistakes. We've already talked about reading too fast.
Yeah, super common because I think your adrenaline gets going.
Yep.
Especially those first few questions, your adrenaline's just zooming.
Yep.
And you miss keywords.
Absolutely. Now, memorizing random facts without content. That, again, is the memorization. That is not what we're here to do. You did that in A&P.
Yeah.
You're not doing it here.
Yeah. And that's where case studies and scenarios come in. That's where clinical comes in. You see it real life, and you start connecting that information that you're learning in class to a real life patient and see it in live action and understand it better.
I remember being in my bachelor. This what I do remember from my school.
Oh, okay.
We had ADNs, and we used to get so upset with them because they would ask so many questions and draw analogies to things that they were seeing, and we couldn't keep up. But they would monopolize the conversation because they were using their real world applications with that
content. They had seen it and they could connect
and that's
easier.
what I think Claire is excelling because she has been a tech for so long.
Oh, absolutely. I remember when she first started in the ER and I told her that. I was like, this experience is key.
Yeah.
It'll help you so
absolutely.
much down the road.
So the group think studying, this, not just studying. And what drives me crazy, don't just take someone's, like I do remember studying with a group. If you feel like because especially have strong personalities, it doesn't work. But what don't to do. We do have a mixing board after a test. Don't congregate in the halls and say, what'd you put? You're just increasing your anxiety. It's crazy. I'm going to tell you, if all of you have something different, then probably only a 10th of you got it right.
Yeah. I'm not a group studier. I think there's a time and a place for it. So if you are just using it to bounce some ideas off of each other and master maybe a certain topic or a certain concept,
which is what our PASS program is designed to do. We didn't even talk about PASS.
Yeah, PASS is not. I think there's a misconception about PASS. I think people look at it as a punishment.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a resource.
Yes.
It is a resource for you to go and talk through material. It's not a reteaching of the material.
And it's not us. You're with a peer. You're with someone who just went through the class the semester before you.
And you get to bounce those ideas off of them and also apply the knowledge. The PASS instructor, is that what they're called? Instructor?
Peer ambassadors.
Peer ambassadors are given material to focus on, and maybe that's some questions or some case studies to work through, and you apply the knowledge that you learned in class. It's not punishment. It's a resource.
Yeah. And it does help.
And it's free.
It is free.
Good gracious.
It is free.
It's a
is
great
free.
resource.
So use that pass. You've got, again, it's using the resources that you have.
Another tip I would recommend, or I guess something to avoid, I would add in not restudying the material that you already know.
And that's that brain dump thing again.
That's a waste of your time.
Exactly.
Focus on your weak spots. Know where your deficits are, and hit those hard.
Yep. I agree. Sure. I totally agree with that. Okay. They know they're not alone.
Yeah.
We're here,
I
obviously.
Hope they know.
I mean,
that's this. This podcast.
I know. It's
like, is to help you realize you are not alone.
And even as us, as a student from 30-something years ago and a student from...
Not long ago.
10 years ago?
Sure.
I don't know. I can't
16?
remember.
Yeah.
You're not alone.
You're not alone.
We've done that. We've done it.
You're currently in school.
Yes.
I just wrapped up another degree.
Which you're about to start another one.
Yep. Pending.
Yeah. But don't let grades define you.
Heavens no.
I say this all the time. And I used to roll my eyes at students until it happened to me. And I get it. There is something to be said, though, about striving for just the best that you can do. And for me, that's maintaining a 4.0. I've barely maintained a 3.0.
Yeah.
So I understand it. But in the long run, I always tell my nurses this, and my dad used to tell me this too. First of all, he used to say C equals degree. But I have never had a single person that I've taken care of over the last 30-something years ask me, what grade did you make in med-surg 2?
No job has ever asked me. No job has asked if I had to retake a class. They know I passed the NCLEX and I have my degree.
That's all they care about.
That's all.
The only time your GPA is going to come back is if you apply to grad school.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So I understand that. I do. But again, no one... When you're 30 years into your career, no one's going to ask you that.
No one. They don't define you.
No, they can't. You cannot let them.
Yep. And I would suggest just continue to better yourself. I mean, if you have a grade that is not satisfactory for you, then
do better.
Reflect on what you did to get that grade and move on.
Yeah. I mean, it was like that week that I made that B+. It was the perfect storm week. You know, one class was closing, had to get grades entered. One class was opening that I hadn't finished, you know, and then taking my classes and then doing all of this other extra stuff.
For sure.
Because I don't just do one or two things.
Absolutely not.
So, but be careful. Don't let them define you. It'll be okay.
And last but definitely, maybe not least.
Oh my, this is a long episode.
Celebrate every step of the way in nursing school or your nursing career. Celebrate when you do pass your test. Celebrate finishing that first semester. Celebrate placing that first IB. That's one thing I love about going into clinical with students is I see those first wins and I get to relive them. And they're so empowering.
I love those moments.
Yes.
I call them their light bulb moments.
Yes. And that can be a victory dance in the hallway or the supply closet. Or it can be binging on ice cream.
Yep.
It can,
running down
being a night off from studying. Yep. Whatever those celebrations look like, don't overlook the small wins either. You have to appreciate the small wins.
And that's also self-care too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Improve that mental health.
And, after finals, go do something,
So since you're in school, what would you do differently now where you are in your program versus like when you first started that first week? Like what would you tell yourself looking back at your first week to do differently?
It's also hard because you're in school and you're teaching and you're taking your
you got a full load.
Better organization.
Yeah.
I've finally gotten there. I was not there that first semester. Yeah. I didn't understand the true depth of the program. And that's kind of a gap for online degrees they'll give you what the program is and, the mission, all that stuff. Right. But you don't really know what the bottom line is.
Yeah.
So I really didn't know what it was that we're doing. And so now I get it.
So basically, to sum things up, trust your gut.
Yep.
Use your time wisely.
Use your resources.
Slow down in the actual test, and it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Like, I always remind myself how many other people have done this. I'm not the dumbest person on the planet.
Nope.
No way.
First of all, you're there.
Yeah.
You're in nursing school.
Yeah.
That's an amazing feat.
Yes. Another one of those things to celebrate. So, as always, follow us, like us, share us with your friends, talk about us in class, and go on Instagram and let us know what your favorite test-taking tip you found that has worked is. And next week...
Or what do you fear the most, too, for our newer students? What do you fear?
So next week, come back and join us when we talk about burnout to balance and coping tools for nurses in training. Thanks for scrubbing in with us.